Hello and welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage and today we're going to be looking at Fetch.AI. Before we jump into the price action, I just want to say thank you for watching. If you're enjoying the content, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description, you'll find a link to the Discord. Come and check it out. It's free to join. Okay, so for the most part, we are still following what we were anticipating. We're looking for that potential to actually come back down lower here into this zone of this 3774 to this 2236. So this is an area that we're looking for. So there's two ways we can look at this move. Effectively, this high point here, we can either treat it as a fifth wave, in which case what we'd be looking for is basically the potential to actually come down deeper here. And what we'd be looking for then is the fact that we could be looking to form something like this as an A, B, and a C potentially to the downside. It could, technically speaking, complete within this move here as a smaller correction, but I would prefer a deeper move, potentially down towards this 50% line here of this 1793 to the lower range of this, which would be this 0888. So this would be a zone we'd actually be looking for, looking to potentially come down as a bigger corrective pattern into this area. If we just got this smaller move here, I would be on the lookout for the potential to actually come back up and have a fifth wave. However, we'll have to keep an eye on this structure. If it starts to break down too deep here, then it would be less likely. So once we start to lose this zone of this 2572, then effectively it becomes less likely. Though really, the cutoff point would be this 50% down here at this 2236 for this fifth wave to the upside. So we also wouldn't want to see this get too big. If it starts to get too big, effectively, then it wouldn't make sense as a fourth wave anymore, and rather then I'd be looking at the possibility that from this high point we've started that potential for a B wave to the downside or a wave 2, where this becomes either an ABC and it could actually technically complete here, or alternatively we come down into here, get a retracement back up, test this range of this X wave, and then actually look to push down one more time. So, these are all still possible options within this. Really, until we actually lose this zone of this 50%, this 2236, we could still look for that potential progression to the upside as a fifth wave. So down from this 0.382, which would actually be this 2835, I have projected this potential target area for this fifth wave would be here at this 9509 to the 7165. So depending on how exactly this plays out, we can argue that we could be still looking for this. We'll have to keep an eye on it. If it starts to get too big, though, it becomes less likely. So the way that I'm currently looking at this is very choppy in this area here, and that's what's leading me to believe that either we are still within this B wave, or potentially this B wave's completed here, and then we're setting up, getting ready for a drop here, where we start to form some additional structure that could turn into five-wave moves. So if it's a C wave, we'd be looking for a nice five-wave structure where we'd have to look at something like this, where this is a 1, 2, then we'd look for a 3, 4, and a 5. Currently, we don't have good structure for that. But sometimes these things take some time to play out where we get this as a 1, 2, then we'll form another 1, 2 here, then that breaks down in a five-wave move, get another fourth and a fifth, which could actually look to push us down towards this zone of this 30-cent region. So I'm keeping an eye on that. Also, this channel line is a potential interesting area. Because we're looking for a fourth, this could just be more of a sideways move, where we actually just form something more like this, where this then becomes a B wave completed here, and then we could form more of a move like this, where this could even end up as a triangle within here, and then we look to break to the upside. So we have to keep an eye on that. I mean, it is making good structure for a triangle at this point, where we could look at this as an A, B, C, D, and an E. So if we do get another three-wave move to the upside here, not taking this high point, and then another three-wave move to the downside, not taking these lows, and then we start to push up in a bigger five-wave move, then effectively we could be looking for that potential. But we'd have to also be careful, because we can also argue that that this B wave is not completed, where actually this is just all an X wave into here, where this becomes an A or a W in this case. This would become basically an A, B, and a C, or WX and a Y again, and then that will complete that X wave, and then we still have a Y wave to come to the upside. So if we do move to the upside, an area I'd be looking out for potential rejection would be this 53, 57. If we do start to move up here, either in a five-wave move or in a three-wave move. So if it's a five-wave move, something like this, where we get this push to the upside, this could then be a B, and a C to the upside here. Alternatively, we could still look for this as a corrective move where this just becomes a 333 as a WXY. So this B wave could still be in play. We could look to actually push up here. But effectively, it is also possible that we still have this continuation to the downside. So really, until we start to take some of these key areas like these highs of these connector waves here, you can't really you can't rule out the idea that we could actually start to break down deeper. What we'd be looking for if we're looking for that five-wave move to the downside would be a move down towards this zone of, let me just get this on here, 33.92. So if we do start to break down here and we start to extend out past this, but the thing is within this current structure here, we would have to argue that we're going to extend way past this because this would be a 1 and potentially looking for a 2 again. And that could actually look to push us down deeper. But if we do cross that 33.92, it becomes more likely that we're going to see five-wave structure to the downside. So, I mean, off of our current structure, the internal count here, if we're going to look at this as a one, basically we'd have to count this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 into here, potentially lower then, or we treat this as a flat. Yeah, I mean, either way, we'd still need a significant drop towards this 32, 31, um, or this 34.88, depending on which way you want to count this, looking for that deeper corrective structure here, looking for a five-wave move. If we don't move down towards these zones, then we need to just be careful that we don't form a move here where we actually just move. I think we've actually come down to the one-to-one already. Not quite. 1-to-1 would be the 38.97. So yeah, I mean, we've got to be careful with this. It is very choppy. We could argue that we just get something like this where we come back down into the trend line. We face rejection off of this area to the upside here of this 50% at 45 cent to this 786, which would actually be a retest of these highs. So if we can't fail to if we fail to take this high again here, I would be looking for another wave to the downside, and depending on how high we come here, that could look to actually travel down towards that zone. If we came up to 50%, the one-to-one would be 36.14. Alternatively, we come up higher here, one-to-one would be more towards that 37 cent range. So yeah, that would tie in with a retest of this channel. But yeah, like I said, we'd have to be careful with this so we don't start to break down deeper and looking for that five-wave move for that C, looking for that target of that 30 cents, which would actually tie in quite nicely with a move down towards this 382. So going to have to be a bit careful within that structure. If we were going to argue that potentially we're looking for a move to the upside here and a bigger impulse, we'd have to say that this it is quite choppy and overlapping. It only makes sense really if there was another leg to the upside here as a fifth wave, and then basically what we'd want to see is a move like this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Then we want to see that three-wave move, looking for, depending on how high this fifth wave comes, but basically looking for support to come in. I'm going to go into this range here and say 41 cent. If we do start to move below that 41 cent area again, it becomes less likely that we can look for some impulsive structure. But if we do hold that, effectively what we could then be looking at is the potential to actually start to form some impulsive structure here, where we form this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 5. And then we actually look to push up higher. Like I said, though, really until we start to take these areas, these key areas here of this 48.27 and this zone here of this 50 cent 17, my primary expectation is that we will still be heading lower. It is possible, like I said, this if we do move up this 53.57, keep an eye on that area. Also the 786 retracement, which will be this 54.84 area. That will be quite an interesting zone if we do get back up into these areas and go from there. The problem is we can potentially we do have a potential five-wave move here, but the rest of this is very choppy. So you could argue that you have a 1, 2 and a 1, 2, and then it's going to look to progress up. But for the most part, I don't think that is what it makes more. It looks better to actually count it just as corrective structure. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. If this does start to prove itself, what we'd have to look for if we were looking for that potential would actually just be a much bigger move to the upside here, something much more substantial towards this 63.42, and that would actually be a taking out this previous high point here. But like I said, the structure here doesn't give me a lot of confidence that that's actually what's playing out. But if we did have to get a bigger move up into this area, we could then start arguing that we were already looking for this fifth wave to play out from lower down, or from this area here rather. But yeah, I mean, I don't think this is enough for the correction, in my opinion. I think it needs to come down, like I said, one more time. So my primary expectation is still to come down here. But if we do start to break to the upside here, what I'd be looking out for is whether we manage to take this high. If we do, then we could be looking towards that 95-cent range, potentially looking to extend up. We'd have to look at the internals within this wave. But for as long as we actually fail to take these highs and form good, clear, impulsive structure, I would still be looking for that retracement to the downside. So either that's going to be towards this zone here of this 28.35 to this 22.36, or alternatively, if we're going to have a deeper retracement, it's going to be here to the 17.19 to this 0.888 area. So just got to keep an eye on that move. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and leave us some feedback down below in the comment section. Also in the description, you'll find a link to the Discord. Come check it out. It is free to join. Once you are in the general chat, just mention member staff. We'll be happy to help you out with anything you may need. Also in the description, you'll find affiliate links for both PrimeXBT and BYBIT, both great exchanges that we use on a regular basis. If you don't have an account, using the affiliate link does help support the channel, and we do appreciate it. Everyone have a great day, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.